Most decorating problems don't start on the job. They start on the quote. Not because you're careless, but because you assume things will stay reasonable. They rarely do. If you've ever heard, "I thought that was included," "This wasn't what we agreed," or "I'm not paying for that," this video is for you. Before we go any further, it's worth knowing where your business actually stands right now. I've put together a short 5-minute assessment for painters and decorators. It shows where things like quotes, pricing, and boundaries are already slipping, often without you realizing. There's no fluff, just a clear picture. You'll find the link in the description below. Let's talk about how to write a quote that protects you when things go wrong. Because they will go wrong at some point. That's not pessimism, that's experience. First mistake. Most decorators write quotes to win the job, not to control the job. They keep the quote short, they keep it friendly, they leave things open. Open equals exposed. Your quote is not a sales flyer, it's a boundary document. If it doesn't define the edges of the job, the customer will. Second mistake. Being vague about what's included. Phrases like, "prepare as required," "make good where necessary," "paint all walls." That sounds reasonable until it isn't. What level of prep? How much making good? Which walls exactly? If you can argue about it later, it's too vague now. A protective quote is specific. Not long, not complicated, just clear. What you're doing, what you're not doing, and what changes the price. Third mistake. Assuming the customer understands the process. They don't. They don't know about drying times. They don't understand prep. They don't see what you see. So when delays happen, or extra work appears, they think it's part of the deal. Your quote must explain responsibility, not in legal language, in plain English. If something is unknown, say it's unknown in the quote. If something depends on condition, say it depends. If something isn't included, say it isn't included. Silence is not neutral. Not saying something works against you. Fourth mistake. No variation process. This is where most jobs unravel. The customer asks for a small extra. You do it to be helpful. Then it snowballs. At the end they say, "That should have been included." A good quote explains how changes are handled. Extra work equals extra cost. Agreed before the work is done. In writing. Even if it's just a text. If it's not agreed, it's not part of the job. That one rule saves arguments, resentment, and unpaid labor. Now the uncomfortable truth. If your quote feels friendly but fragile, it is. A quote that protects you might lose you some jobs. That's a good thing. The customers who push back hardest are usually the ones who cause the most trouble later. You're not trying to win everyone. You're trying to protect yourself. Final point. Your quote should let you sleep at night. If you're worried before the job even starts, that's your gut telling you the paperwork is weak. Strong quotes don't create conflict. They prevent it. If this hit close to home, you're not alone. Most decorators were never taught this. That's exactly why I built the 5-minute business assessment. It highlights where quotes, pricing, and expectations are leaving you exposed before they turn into arguments. If you want a clear picture of where you stand, the link's in the description. I'll be breaking down quotes, pricing, and customer control properly on this channel. Subscribe if you want fewer arguments, fewer surprises, and jobs that actually pay what they should.